Hey guys, this video is going to be a review of Breaking In: The Rise of Sonia Sotomayor and the Politics of Justice by Joan Biskupic. This is a book that I won from a Goodreads giveaway, and I was very excited about it because I don't actually know much about Sonia Sotomayor. Obviously I knew who she was, but I didn't know much about like her story or her life. And I thought that it would be really interesting, so I was really excited to get this book. I do have to say that the book was slightly disappointing to me. So much of the book was focused on like sort of background stuff. Obviously she's the first Hispanic Supreme Court justice, and so much of the book focuses on everything before she got nominated with like other people and how people knew that they needed to nominate a Hispanic court justice or Supreme Court justice, but they didn't, and like the reasons why, and how other people came close to being the first Hispanic Supreme Court justice and then weren't chosen, and things like that. And it just like so much stuff that wasn't about her. And while that stuff probably could have been interesting, it wasn't what I picked up the book for. I do get why you would want to create like a context for why her nomination was significant, but I feel like there was too much focus on things that shouldn't have been the focus of the book. And towards the end it was doing that same sort of thing. In the very last chapter they're talking about an appearance that she does, and they talk a lot about her and her mom's outfits, and like I don't know, it was like a few sentences I think outlining each of their outfits, and it was like, okay, but why are we getting that sort of description? Like, why do we care what they were wearing, sort of thing? So I felt like that happened a lot throughout the book, where there was just like time spent on things that I don't understand why time was spent on them and why they were important. And when it came to things like descriptions of what they were wearing, it may have only been a few sentences and not that big of a deal, but when things like that kept happening throughout the book and there kept being this sort of like focus on things that didn't seem important over and over and over again, it just felt like a lot of things that should have been cut out of the book, and I felt like it was left with little that was actually the point of the book. And so I just feel like the book needed to find its focus and actually write about what it was supposed to be about. Some of it was very interesting. I did learn more about Sonia Sotomayor's life, and I do find that she is very interesting, but I wish I learned more, because like just so much of this didn't seem like what the book should have been, I guess, is how I feel. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, so I didn't hate it. I didn't even necessarily dislike it. It just wasn't exactly what I was expecting, and I would have enjoyed it more if it had like shifted focus slightly. So that's all that I have to say, and I will see you guys later. Bye.